Too busy to read? We bring you the heart of every book, fast, simple, and powerful. This is Book Nest, your shortcut to wisdom. Let's begin. Chapter 4, Hope and Coming to America. By the early 1990s, China was rising, slowly, unevenly, but unmistakably. Its gates were opening, its cities were growing, and its people were hungry for change. But to the world beyond its borders, China was still a mystery. Few had been in and fewer understood it. And Jack Ma? He was still a dreamer, teaching English in a modest college in Hangzhou. But the fire inside him was growing. A fire not just to teach, but to connect, to see, to build something bigger. But he couldn't do it from Hangzhou alone. Jack needed a window to the world. And that window was America. By this time, Jack had become something of a local celebrity. His students loved him, not because he had the best credentials, but because of his passion, his energy, and his vision of the outside world. He didn't just teach them English. He taught them confidence. He told them, you must speak up. You must take your chance. Ironically, Jack had never left China. But that was about to change. In 1994, Jack's big break came. He was invited to the United States not by a government official or a tech executive, but by a small American business trying to make its way in China. His mission? Help them settle a business dispute in California. Jack had never flown before. He had no idea what to expect. He spoke broken English. He had almost no money. But he had something more important: curiosity. He landed in Los Angeles, wide-eyed, nervous, and overwhelmed. Everything was big. The cars, the roads, the stores, the ideas. But soon, Jack discovered that America wasn't just about size. It was about speed, freedom, access. He was astonished by how easily Americans could get information. They had the internet. At a friend's house in Seattle, Jack typed his first English word into the internet: beer. He was stunned. American beer? German beer? Japanese beer? Everything came up. But Chinese beer? Nothing. He searched China. Again, almost no results. And that changed Jack's life. In that moment, he saw the gap. The blind spot. The opportunity. China, with its factories, culture, people, and ambition, was missing from the world's biggest digital conversation. He thought, if nobody's doing it for China, then I will. That's when the seed of China Pages was born, Jack's first internet business idea. But he knew nothing about computers. He wasn't an engineer. He didn't write code. All he had was a dream and his words. He returned to Hangzhou with a plan. Start small. Build an online directory of Chinese businesses. Help them go global. Help the world see China. Jack didn't want to join the internet revolution. He wanted to lead it for his country. Back in China, he called together 17 of his friends. Some were skeptical. Most had no idea what the internet was. Jack stood before them and said, I invited you not to take a job. I invited you to join a dream. With just $2,000 pooled from their savings, they launched China Pages. It wasn't a fancy site. It didn't even have full functionality. But it had a message: China is open for business, and we're here to help. He faced rejection after rejection. Business owners didn't understand the internet. They didn't trust it. They didn't see the point. One factory boss told him, why should I trust you with my company's information when I can barely trust my own cousin? But Jack didn't quit, because he had seen the future. He remembered the silence of that search for China. He wanted to make sure that the next time someone typed tea, silk, or bamboo, they would find Hangzhou, Suzhou, China. He wasn't just building a business. He was building a bridge. Jack wasn't making much money. He was exhausting his resources. He was losing weight, losing sleep, losing allies, but gaining momentum. His site started getting attention, even from government officials and Western partners. That's when the Chinese government came knocking. They wanted a piece of the internet. But not with Jack, they wanted control. They wanted Jack to merge with Hangzhou Telecom. Reluctantly, Jack agreed. At first, it seemed like a win. But he quickly discovered that the telecom's bureaucracy was killing his vision. Meetings dragged. Ideas stalled. Speed was lost. Jack was caged. So he made one of the boldest moves of his life. He quit. Walked away from the company he built. Why? Because Jack Ma didn't want to be a cog in someone else's wheel. He wanted to drive the engine of China's digital revolution. And he wasn't done yet. In the darkness of failure, a brighter idea was already forming. Jack had tasted the future. And soon, he'd build a company that would change not just China, but the world. Its name? Alibaba. But that's a story for another chapter. From a borrowed computer in Seattle to the dusty streets of Hangzhou, Jack Ma carried one thing: hope. The kind of hope that comes not from wealth, but from vision. And in his story, we find a simple truth. Greatness doesn't wait for permission. It just begins. Like, share, and subscribe for Chapter 5, China is Coming On. This is Book Nest, and your shortcut to wisdom.